Well, it's time for another review and some campaign books. Roll the intro. Well, I'm here. It's been a while since I did this, so um, I think it's time I review some campaign books for Dystopian Wars. This is the Spartan era games, so um, this is they released a campaign books in that when Spartan game was still around. So it has some interesting. The only thing that I'm kind of currently aware of is Hurricane season and Storm of Steel. I think this is the first one. I think this was the first one that came out, and this Storm of Steel was the second one. This one over here is more kind of a large compendium. There's more history, more stuff, more faction was added in here. I think it's a combination of both, but um, it more rules for probably second edition and more factions were added in up. So let's get this thing here. This was the seller that I bought this from a couple weeks ago. It had he was trying to get rid of all his stuff from our Facebook group, the Dystopian Trading Hub. He's trying to get rid of all his stuff by selling them. So I decided to buy it. I bought a boatload of Prussians. So and decided to include this. And you can see the artwork in here. Yeah, this is definitely second edition when they added infantry and all that stuff, like giant robots and yeah, it had a lot of they added more factions in here, like sub factions like the Italians and the Ottomans and all that stuff, mercenaries, and more units for the main base factions. But damn, they have history in here and all the history in their current conflicts and operations, like the Federated States of America and all that stuff, the FSA. This is different from the current dystopian wars with War Cradle Studios, and this was released years ago. And I had the starter set, two of the starter naval battle group for my dystopian wars, and I decided to pull that out. Oh, here's the Japanese, the Blazing Sun, and that's the Empress. Okay, her name is Her Divine Majesty Empress Jejuna. I can't read it here. It's fading away. Sorry, I should have been investing more on camera for reviews. And we got the French. They added the French Republic. I have a massive force of French and some Russians. I'm trying to build up my Russians and Ariel. My force is expanding for Dystopian War Spartan era games. And just mostly I get it from eBay. But eBay can be very pricey because they would charge like $200 for a set. Most of them are incomplete. But the trading hub, I would recommend going to the Dystopian Wars Trading Hub on Facebook. You probably need an approval to join up, but they'll ask you a few questions. But you probably get in there if you want to get rid of your collection and give it a home for different people, for people to play this game for the Spartan era. I recommend doing that. And there's a seller over there. They can be very reasonable. You'll once you join up, you'll probably end up he'll probably give you a reasonable price to sell your stuff, or if you get the items that you want. If you want to be completing this game and see how this you're gonna experience playing the Dystopian Wars game. I did a review on this one many years ago, from many years. It's still in my YouTube channel, so check it out. This was made like 2010. That was still when they were still around. Yeah, and you got fleets in here, and like has the ground units, aerial ground units. It's like one of those steampunk stuff. This is a steampunk setting, so you're gonna enjoy it. And this has like basically the new rule. This is the second edition rule, I believe. They added like, I'm gonna skip some stuff. They added some infantry in here, but the problem with the infantry, they were too small. There's just like, it doesn't sink in with the rest of the ground units. It's really, really, really tiny. You can see it right here. They only give you a token, and they give you a signal emblems. But if tell you what, if you don't want that kind of setting, I want you to make closely resembling into scale, like in your if you have a 3D program that can do that. I might actually do that and just sub that for actual infantry. You'll know it's a cavalry or infantry and all that stuff. Just make it proxy it. I want to see you guys do that with your talent. Yeah, because it's a really small setting. I might do it if I have the time, but I'm doing other stuff in my 3D program right now. Here are the Russian coalition, the Holy Britannians. Yeah, these are basically rules, and we got like carriers and all that stuff. Yeah, like, and here's a fight. I love this thing. Ah, shit. Blazing Sun ships and some. I believe that could be either. I don't know if that's Prussian or FSA on there, but could be or Covenant of Antarctica. But look at that. That looks like a Corsair with some stuff in there that's not usually in the real Corsair. But it's a Corsair. I love the design for the I love the design of the in the Dystopian Wars. The planes, they're piston based. They're still in the piston era. It's 1870s and all that stuff, and it's mixture of World War I and World War II in here. There's even aliens in this game. Not in this book, but they were trying to add some aliens, but I don't know any information about that, but they were trying to bring that in the game. And you can see this is the squid, the Japanese, that's part of the Empire of the Blazing Sun's fleet. And you got giant robots, infantry. There is also Dystopian Legion. Though I'm not even gonna attempt to join in that one, because that's more kind of a rare game, and it's just another miniature that I can probably not gonna go stepped in. Even I think they might even release it with 3D print. They probably someone was already doing that, sculpting it. Since it's a dead game, but I'm not even gonna attempt that one, because, and you can have here, like, this is like the current rule books with the stat lines. I believe they still match with the old version 1. They didn't do anything much, but they just like added like points in infantry, so it's not gonna affect you if you have the version 1 card. So, and you got squadrons and all that stuff, infantry and carriers. Yeah, I recommend if you need this kind of ship to add your force or build up or start up, you can go for eBay. eBay will probably cost you like probably $100 for Noble Knight Games. They do have like the starter fleet, like a battle group. You'll probably get a battle group or something. And you're probably gonna get that one. And they even have little robots in there too. So here are the Empire of the Blazing Sun ships with the carrier groups. Yeah, Into naval games, it's covered. Ground games, were it's covered. Yeah, they have Firestorm Armada, but that's also same game. It uses the um, exploding guy mechanic. Now they released, like I said, they released the campaigns, and this was the first one that came out. The hurricane season. This is taking place in the Caribbean because they have like alliances in here. Like it's kind of like mirrored from our world. They have like kind of like thing with like the Axis forces and all that stuff, and the Anglos like the British and the FSA. The French though is also part of the act. The they're called Imperial Bond, part of the Prussian because after Napoleon's humiliation, France and all that stuff, Francis is actually is kind of sick of the power sometimes, but it has to stick with the. They kind of don't like the Holy Britannians. The Covenant of Antarctica, they are the only faction right now that I know of. They're basically the reason why this is. They released all the they were so very hubris and they think everybody was going to be fine. They set up an embassy, but someone stole their technology and gave it to every imperial power out there, mostly from the Russian coalition. I believe his name was Makarov. I think it's also the same stuff lore they kind of tweak in the other game called the one of Dystopian Wars with War Cradle Studio. And here are the ship for the FSA Navy. Yeah. I am currently building my ship. I need to paint my dreadnought for them. And this is like the operations in here, history. I really need to get a good read and all of that stuff. I even added like harbors and amphibious landing ship. It's really well supported and it has artwork too. Yeah, and you can tell the planes. And you got mercenaries in here. Some of the artworks are also weird too. So, well, that's the artist's interpretation on it. And you got Zeppelins in here with the Prussians, and you got land battleships and all land tanks and all that stuff, all that nice glory. Yeah. Well, we haven't seen War Cradle Studio bring the land version of that, but I think they're going there. It's just slow right now. But they have their, I think they're trying to, it's basically a reboot from that game, from this series. It's basically a reboot, and you got like campaigns in here, Prussians and all that stuff. I've been reading on this one, so I can use it. The last, and stat lines for factions. The last, battle report I have, this was Dystopian Wars. That was version 1, and I began reading that one, and it's pretty. The book is, the rules are the I got used to the rules. It's easy to learn once you get the hang of it. So, and you got here for this one's set in the Northern Europe or all that stuff with the Russian coalition and all that stuff. The Russian Empire, French Republic is in here, and damn, the artworks are still awesome. Yeah, here are the French. I like the French designs. Yeah, it was kind of difficult for me to draw the when they did that battle report. It was I was kind of researching and like what outfit they would use. I kind of did a mix. I didn't have much to go on, so I did a mixture of World War One, British Navy, and all that stuff. Yeah, and I managed to get that one. Here, like, they have some naval battle, mostly focusing. There's naval battle, but mostly focusing land and air, so you can mix them both. You'll have a land and air operation. So I'm building an aerial armada, and some several organizations in here, and they also release some starter sets, like 2-player starter, like the one I review with the. What was that game? The Firestorm Armada. Yeah, they released that one too. You can get them for a decent price, but I had it one time for like $60 for being sold on eBay. And the next thing you know, it was already the seller decided to sell it for like, oh, put it on a bidding price immediately, because he was like, oh shoot, this is a rare game. Yeah. And these are the books, the stat for the for the Prussians and the Russian coalitions and all that stuff. And they added more like ships in here, like transports. Kind of reminds me of the Lusitania or something. Yeah. Yeah, I have the ground forces that I need to start making. I did one for the Covenant of Antarctica, and I work on. I'm currently working on the Dreadnought on that one. Once I get on top, but right now my top priority for me is I'm sticking with the Horus Heresy box sets that I bought recently, and I'm working on that one. So, but I'm still doing some painting with that one. So this is one of those, you can get this cheap from reasonable price in eBay if you want to add it in your collection, or if you're interested into Dystopian Wars. So I recommend going into the Dystopian Trading Hub. If you want to get rid of your collection, get some money out of it, you can give it to there, other than go to eBay. Or if you want to add it in your collection, you can buy it from there, or you can also do some trade. So I think this is it for my review. It's Deleon Francis 60. Happy wargaming, and signing off.